Hello. Welcome to the behind the scenes of the Toybox. Working title, I might change it, I might keep it. Puppy Playtime music video. Hello. It's not quite really day one. It's been a rather sort of extended early production because we've had a lot of delayed deliveries and things. I've been in the studio every day this week, mostly sitting around waiting for deliveries and doing little jobs that weren't worth filming. But today's our first day of like fully doing stuff. So if you come look over here, look at our beautiful set.
Wow.
I've spent the past couple of days stripping it because the first set we ever built in this space was, and this is where Liz edited a little clip, was Tune Into the Madness for Little Nightmares 2, where we wallpapered these walls that we built. And we intentionally wallpapered them very badly to look all creased and wrinkled and bubbly and damp. And then after that, we've just been painting over that every time we've done a new set. With layers and layers of different sets painted here. And every time we did it, the wallpaper underneath it all got more and more bubbly and hard to paint on. And it reached a point now where it was no longer usable. And it actually took me a couple of days to hand strip all the wallpaper off these walls, or at least most of the wallpaper, some bits I couldn't get, and then paint over it all. So this is now a clean base coat ready for us to build a set on. I need to go and patch up a couple of bits where you can still see some bits of We Told You So poking through here and there. But today we're actually here to paint pretty colours on them and do some fun patterns. Nick, we've got Nick on staff again today. He's disappeared somewhere, probably to the little Nick's room. And he's building us some big cubes, some big building blocks to decorate the set with. And yeah, it's going to be, well, I won't tell you everything that's going to happen now because you'll see it happen over the course of this behind the scenes. Hello, welcome to an hour-ish later from last time. The walls are now, they don't look much different, but they have a base coat on. It's finished. And they also have some pencil drawings of the patterns we're going to attempt to paint onto them. See how that goes. Nick's here now. Say hi, Nick.
Hello.
Hello, what are you building today, Nick?
Building some cubes.
Oh.
Some oblongs.
Oh.
What's a 3D oblong called?
Cuboid.
Really?
It's cuboid.
Yeah.
It's cuboid.
What's a 3D arch called?
An archoid.
Okay. Some oblongs, some 3D oblongs, some 3D cubes, and a 3D archloid.
What are we painting? What colours are
We're
we doing?
painting predominantly Clontarf.
Clontarf.
Clontarf is going to be our base colour for everything that's not a pattern, and then we'll have a pink wiggly arm, a blue wiggly arm, and some coloured polka dots.
Hooray!
Oh, hello. So we've had some trouble painting over this particular area because you may remember in the Back for Blood video we had UV paint on the walls that glowed on the black light, which looked awesome. However, I've discovered that UV paint is sort of paint resistant and doesn't like being painted over. So it's taken like a lot more coats of paint in this area where it said, "Where is the army?" in big bold letters in UV paint. The rest of the set, we peeled all the wallpaper off, but there was never any wallpaper here to begin with on this bit of wall, so it's just directly on the wall, so I couldn't peel it away. So this has had about 8 extra coats of paint, but we're almost there now. This will be the last one,
Hopefully.
hopefully.
Maybe.
We'll actually have the actual painting of the patterns on the wall, which will be more layers over it. But hopefully by the time that's done. Paint, yeah!
Yay!
So a bit there, bit there, bit there, and then probably some sort of triangle.
Yeah.
So it's a brace of it.
Yeah.
Then get them spaced in a frame. It's easy, 60 depth. Then it's getting that stuff onto this. It'll be fine.
Okay.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It won't be fine.
Paint. Trying to make it more exciting.
Yeah.
I'll try and match the sword.
Oh, I see. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1. So we're painting the walls in this Brontar colour, and it's a lot darker than it looks on. I see a tin. It's not a tin. It's a pot, but it looks like a nice pale, very duck-eggy sort of colour. Look at that. It's basically just a slightly bluey white, and it's drying very blue. We're committed to it now. By the time we realised it was too dark, we'd already got half of it on the wall. So the set's going to be a lot bluer than I wanted it to be. We're supposed to be sort of white walls, slightly off-white with nice colourful patterns. Now they're blue walls with colourful patterns, which isn't so game accurate, and it will tear me apart to the very level of my soul for the rest of my days. But, you know, you have to make do. Moving on to other colours. We've got our bluer than we'd like it to be off-white blue. Pretty much done. And now we're filling in all the colourful bits. Hopefully this dries a better colour. So we're done for the day. Nick has built about 50-60% of the big wooden blocks we need. We've got a big arch there that needs some sides on it. We've got some big tall blocks in the background, a big cube here, a couple of other smaller blocks to make as well. But the big one is the arch, and that's almost done now. And we've about 75% painted the walls as well. To fill in the polka dots on the gloves and put some little detailing on the arms. Might put something in the corner, there's a sort of messy corner where the wallpaper underneath is cracked, so we might put something in the corner to cover it over, not sure yet. Then we've got to put the floor down, and we've got to put the ceiling up. So, yeah, lots left to do.
But there's millions of props to do as well.
There's also lots of props to make. We'll talk about that when the time comes. Hello, and welcome to the set of Room for Improvement, otherwise known as our kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Say hello to Huggy Wuggy.
Oh god, I hate him.
Here they are. This is a big piece of furniture foam that we had cut to roughly the shape of Huggy Wuggy, and hopefully by the time that we make the video in like a week and a bit's time, this will look like a horrifying puppet. Just imagine it with, blue fur and some big googly eyes. And you've basically got the idea. But first I need to take the electric carving knife to it, because, for one thing, it's very deep. I may have miscalculated when ordering the foam. It's about twice as thick as it needs to be. So that's going to be interesting. And also I need to separate the head from the body so that the head can turn, because you're not going to be able to turn the head. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I've marked on roughly where the face is going to go, and now to carve this into slightly more of a 3D shape.
Hopefully.
Goes without saying, if you're doing this at home, be very careful with your electric saw tools. Safety announcement. I don't know. Felt like I had to say something. Be careful.
No one's going to do this.
No,
Literally 0 people.
Look, I watched a lot of Art Attack as a child, and I've always wanted to say that. Get an adult, get a grown-up to help you if you're using scissors or the electric carving knife.
And if you use scissors for this, be very careful when you do it. In fact, it's always best to get someone else to do that sort of thing, isn't it?
I'm trying to get this sort of like a cone. I can...
Wow.
Basically there now. Basically that's it. Huggy everybody. Just in case any of you have forgotten what you're watching, this is a behind the scenes of the new Stupendium video. This isn't like archive footage of Jim Henson's Creature Shop. This isn't Adam Savage's Tested. I know it's easy to take to make. I'm just so professional and skilled at my craft.
Oh my god.
It's very tight, it needs a bit more loosening, but hey, look, it's a puppet. We're finished.
Okay, that's it.
Hey, this really hurts my wrist. Yeah. Probably what the carving we need to do. I could keep kneading it, and probably eventually it would go too far and realise too late. But as it's all going to be covered in fur, you're not going to see any of the rough shapes. You're just going to get the shape.
A general idea.
General idea. The fur hasn't arrived yet. This is about what we can do for today, aside from clean up. But yeah,
That's a big old puppet.
yeah. I can tell how he looks from this angle, but.
I mean, it looks horrifying, but I think that's the idea.
Oh, hello. Welcome to day 2 of our ill-numbered production cycle of the Poppy Playtime video. Everything's going wrong, but none of it's my fault. That's the important thing. This whole project has been dependent on multiple deliveries of things, of building materials, of print materials, of puppet making materials, and almost every single external delivery beyond some small props from like Amazon Prime has been delayed to some degree, and it's made scheduling this thing impossible. We're supposed to film next week, and I've already pushed the filming back 3 times, and we're probably going to push it back by another week just because of the number of delays we've had. So it's getting quite stressful, but it's still going to be a good project in the end. I'm suffering for my art. Liz is also suffering for my art.
Constantly.
But
at every moment.
Yeah, but you're being paid to suffer, so that's fine. So yeah, we're here again. Yesterday we started painting the walls. Awkward. We started painting the walls, so that's now dry. The ominous, the shade of blue that was too dark has dried a lot lighter overnight, so it's better. It's still bluer than I wanted, but I don't mind it anymore. It's still, it definitely doesn't. I was worried the blue arm and the blue wall would melt into each other, but they're distinct. So that Nick is off buying more filler material for these big blocks. So these blocks coming along quite well. So we'll just see how today goes. Goal for today, I'm going to say this now on camera, and I'm just because I know I have to succeed, is to get the walls finished and either get the ceiling up or the floor down. One of those two, I'll be happy, and then as much progress on the big blocks as we can make as well. Yeah. That's it. Project's cancelled, sorry. So,
Please put a little swanny whistle sound effect for that. Jump scare!
Stu was very optimistic of me. Hi. Hi there. I'm in a box right now
Why?
because this is a box that's made for me to be inside. Hi. So I wanted this shot in the video of my head like decapitated on a table and like my body headless, ambling around in the background all confused. And I was thinking for a long time about how to do this with like VFX, like cutting my head out in post. And eventually I realised we're building the set. We can build a box with a hole for my head, and I could just be inside the box with my head poking out. So that's what this is going to be. There will be a hole for my head in the top of this. There isn't yet, but there will be.
See a magic trick. Do you want to see a magic trick?
Oh, yeah.
In the box.
Oh, okay.
This is gold.
Okay.
Ready? Ready? I'm just going to seal the box.
Oh.
I'm going to seal the box with a yeah. Now cut. What?
Oh my god, there's no one in the box.
There's no one in the box.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Penn and Teller, fool. Now, how easy is it for you to slide?
Oh, very easy.
There we go. You make it harder then.
Ooh, okay, that's quite rough. It's a rough edge.
I mean, I'm going to sand it down.
Okay, that's fine. Then. Hello and welcome to the end of day 2 of behind the scenes of making the set of this video. The good news, the wall is done. Liz mostly has done a great job of painting this wall to look very pretty. The big cubes are almost all built and have been primed and ready to be coloured. The ceiling is not done yet. And the floor is not done yet, for various reasons. And the delivery that we should have had today of one of the key pieces of the set, which you'll see when it eventually arrives, should have arrived a couple of days ago, then should have arrived yesterday, then should have arrived today, and I've now found out has just been lost. And it's a very big, very expensive part of the set. It's been lost in the post. So I made the very difficult decision to delay this entire project by another week or two. I've had to cancel the filming date that's in a few days and push it back by about 10 days just to get everything done in time. This project's been a bit of a disaster thus far in terms of logistics. Lots of things haven't arrived when they should have done. And it's made scheduling and building this thing a nightmare, so we're just going to push it back by a couple of weeks to have more time to focus on it. And I'm going to release something else in the meantime. So, quite stressed, and Lizzy told me to wrap it up because the memory card's filling up. So, catch you when we have an empty memory card. Hello, welcome back to the Puppet Workshop. It's been about a week since we last spoke. This project's all over the place, timescale-wise, had a lot of delays and things, so this puppet had been on hold for a while because the fur didn't show up, but now emergency replacement fur has showed up, so we're continuing. What has changed since you last saw it? Well, it was foam, it is still foam, but it is now foam cased in layers and layers and layers and layers of masking tape. Why, you ask? Well, good question, I'm not quite sure myself. It's so we can then, in theory, if the YouTube videos I've watched are to be believed, cut this tape off and it will create a perfect template for the fur that can then be wrapped back around the foam and it will fit. So we've put cut lines all over it, and that's obviously where the hand goes in. There's like seams basically all around it, so we're going to cut along those seams. Same for the head, all around the sides and the top. Cut along those seams, in theory create like a net, 3D, flat net for the 3D shape that we can then cut out of the fur. Or it won't work at all and we'll be in trouble. Thankfully, the backup fur I ordered only came in ludicrous quantities, so we have a lot spare. So if we mess it up, we can try again. However, I don't have enough masking tape to redo this again. So, see how it goes. I've cut along all the cut lines on here, and I've cut out the holes for the head and where the arms into the back, and added 2 holes on the side where the arms are going to attach. How that's going to work, we're not really sure. We're sort of flying by the seat of our pants here. We'll work it out as we go. But now is the moment of truth where I have to peel all of this tape off and keep it as one coherent net. So let's find out how that goes. All the bits I've peeled off, all the holes I've cut out, are very thick and not falling apart. So it gives me hope that this will be the same. Okay, it's working. It's working.
It's working.
Thank you, Alika. It's finished.
We did it.
We did it. There is a
Cupboard's basically done.
yeah. And there is a technically a template for how to cover that with bright blue fake fur. Yeah, the challenge is going to be to get it to lay flat, because obviously naturally it doesn't want to lay flat and might need some more incisions in it, which will obviously make the fur element more complicated. But we'll see how it goes. The next job is to do the same thing with the head, which is an even more weird shape. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh.
What's a stray little bit of tape there? That's fine. That's an acceptable casualty.
Here's where I would start singing the Casualty theme song if I could remember it.
Yeah. Do, 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 do. That's either casualty or Hobby City.
Oh yeah, no, it's Casualty. It's like.
There's Huggy's face mask. Oh, it's me, Huggy. I imagine that's how they'd speak. Probably not. Yeah, so
it's this horrifying death mask.
Yeah. It's almost like something out of Alien that might sort of try and hug your face.
Yeah.
A face hugger, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the next step is to now try and get these flat on the back of the fur and draw around them to make templates for infurinating these foam forms. So we ordered fur for this project, and then it got lost in the post. It was mislabeled apparently, and so someone else has received meters of blue fake fur. I had to find some other last-minute emergency replacement fur, and the only fur I could find was only available in a minimum of 5 meters, which is about double what we wanted. So we have a huge amount of rather wonderful, but nonetheless excessive quantities of blue fur, which we've not taken out of the box yet, but this is going to be fur. I mean, it's pretty good, actually. For what we wanted, it is exactly what we need. It's actually almost slightly a better colour than the one that was going to arrive, which was a bit more green and slightly more tealy blue. I think it's actually a nicer blue. So, silver linings. It delayed us, but we got a nicer fur. So now we have to get those nets from over there onto here and draw around them. We've just finished cutting out all of the fur. Here we go. This is the last piece. This is the torso. So we're going to take a break. Well, I'm going to clean up all this fur because there's a lot of blue everywhere. Don't mind
Everywhere, all over the floor.
It's very adhesive glue. It's sort of stuck to me a lot. It's in my mouth quite a bit. It's like in the air, but breathed in. So yeah, we've done some tests. I might drape it over the foam, and it does seem to fit quite well. So I think we've got this right. Whether we mess it up with the gluing remains to be seen. Catch you in Glue Town, kiddos.
What?
Oh, no, I'm very tired. Oh, hello. Welcome to day
3?
Day 3, day 5. I don't know what day. I don't know what system of days we're counting because there's so many different things we're doing on different days that I've lost count. So I wanted boxes for this project. I wanted the toy packaging from around the Playtime Co factory that you run into in the factory for the set. So I had to have that designed. I basically redesigned the boxes from scratch in Photoshop because I couldn't get the textures out of the game. They were too low res. Remade them from scratch. Had them printed as box nets on big flat sheets of card. And yet another disaster. Kind of a disaster. I ordered 30 of each style of box. I thought I want about 20, but I'll go for 30. It gets a bit cheaper the more of them you print per sheet, so I'll get 30. It works about the same. And then somehow the printing company massively overprinted and sent us over 100 of each design. So we've got an awful lot of them. So we're just going to see how many we can cut out and make into boxes before we film the video next week now. So here we are. Here's one. This is the one that's not in the game. This is the one based on the Toy Me that we're currently folding. So I've got a whole stack of them here that have been cut out. There's one that's been folded. If you look around there, there's a pile of ones Liz has been putting together. I'm cutting and scoring. Liz is folding and sticking. So yeah, we've been at it a couple of hours and we've done about 20-ish, 30 boxes. So we've got about 400-500 to do. We'll see. I don't think we'll get that many done, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, hello. It's the end of our box making day. Feast your eyes upon our box making hoard. It's been a long day, about 7.5 hours of folding and taping and scoring. But here we have maybe about 10% of the total quantity of boxes I have for this project due to the aforementioned ludicrous quantities I was sent. This is about how many I ordered. This is about 20, 30 of each box we've got here. There's one more type of box we haven't done yet because it needs a bit more work doing to it. It needs like a cellophane window in the front, which hasn't arrived yet, the little acetate sheets. So they're doing it on another day. But yeah, here's how many boxes I anticipated having. We have about 10 times this quantity. So we'll see how many end up on the set. Hello and welcome to day 9 of the puppet build. So we're having a little mouth party. It's time to get the mouths on this thing. Liz has made these rather wonderful mouths. Here's Huggy's happy mouth. Here's Huggy's spooky mouth, which will have lots of pointy teeth on, but we're not going to put them on just yet. Because we have to work out how to attach these mouths to the head in a way that is interchangeable. So here's Huggy's head, and here are 3 little red pegs. And these little red pegs are from Connects. If you're not familiar with Connects, they are a construction toy that has always played second fiddle to Lego, that I loved in the 90s and played with loads. And they're basically just a series of rods and connectors that you can clip together to make all sorts of shapes and things and vehicles and all sorts. And I had a load of these as a kid. And I realised after I sort of grew out of playing with them, they were really good for just building things with. Whenever I was making props for videos or craft projects, they're really good for just putting structure to things. So I thought it would be a good idea to use them for this. So I've got a bag of random Connects and I've stabbed little holes in the front of the foam head, which Connects rods will slot into. And then the back of the mouth will have Connects pieces on, like this. So these will be attached onto the back of the mouth. We'll dig them in a little bit so they're not on the surface. And then those will be able to clip onto the front of the head. And it will hold the mouth in place. And when we want to change the mouth, we can just clip it off and clip on the other one. That is the plan. We'll see if it works out. But if it doesn't, silver linings, I have a bag of Connects to play with. So it's a win-win. We have a mouth. Yeah, it worked a treat. We've not done this one yet, but this one, now it's on there, it's kind of hard to show, but it's connected to these plastic rods. All these connectors are on the back, and it's holding on really well. I'm actually surprised. I thought it might pop off if I did too much movement, but it's working. Had a slight mishap. We had to cut spaces into the back to put the clips on, and this bit of the mouth is particularly thin, and the knife did come through briefly, but that's a really easy fix. We can just papier mâché over that and paint over it, not a problem. And then once that's done, we can glue in all the teeth, and then we're going to varnish the whole mouth with the teeth onto the teeth are shining, the lips are shining, everything all the same. So yeah, once that's done, and we've got the same clips on this mouth, we can put the fur on, and then once the fur's on, we can put the eyes on, and I think that's the head done. And it's the torso. And the arms. The arms are the scary bit, working out how to attach the arm to the torso. Still not quite sure how this is going to happen, but we'll make it work. Today we are attempting to put fur on this thing, so this isn't glued down yet, so I won't turn it to face you too much. We've got the fur lined up, we've cut the eye holes out for the eyes. These pegs, the Connects pegs which the mouth will connect to, have been pierced through the fabric and are in place, and they can be slid all the way back down in so that There you go, flush, but for now they're out so we can find them. Ooh, there we go. So yeah, next job is to try and glue this down neatly without getting gun glue all in the fur, which gets everywhere. Hello, welcome to a couple of hours later. The head has been furred and eyed and mouthed, and I'd like to introduce you to our friend, Huggy Wuggy.
Oh God,
It's actually come together really well. I'm really happy. There's still some final touches to do on the face. The mouths we're going to varnish so they're a bit shinier. And he's going to have a bow around his neck that I've not decided if we're going to attach to the head or the body, because they'll be separate. And obviously he has a separate mouth as well that isn't attached right now. But yeah, it actually worked really well. The fur, I'm genuinely surprised to say, the template of fur we made was almost perfect. There were a couple of places where we had to go in and stick little bits of fur to just patch up some gaps. But for the most part, it worked perfectly. And certainly from a distance or on camera, it just looks like a perfectly fluffy guy.
Yeah, I mean, the fur's so long that it kind of hides a lot of our mess ups.
So yeah, that's the head for the most part done. His body, however, still looks like this. So there we go. There he is. He's slightly naked, but yeah. Huggy Wuggy, everybody.
Oh God.
We're here again, we're back, painting big blocks with my big yellow archway. Look at that. There you go. And next building a couple more little cubes just to give the archway a bit more height, because it's going to come, because I'm wearing a tall hat as well, the top of the arch is going to be quite near me and it would have felt quite cramped, so we're just making it a bit taller with some extra blocks. This is yellow, those are blue now. That one there will be red, as for that one. And then once those are done, I think that's all the big blocks we're building. We might build some extra mini ones with the scrap wood just to fill some space. We'll see how we do for time. Still got to get the floor up and the ceiling down. I said the other way around. You know what I meant. Yeah, we're getting there. We've got a big colourful tubes to put on the walls as well to look like pipes. And yeah, the big box that I'm going to be in is arriving tomorrow now. I've been told it'll arrive tomorrow on about 6 different days now, but tomorrow is a new one. They printed me a new one because the old one got lost in the post. Somehow. It's bigger than a door. Don't ask me how they lost it. Yeah. Hey, welcome to the hand club. So we're painting these wooden hands. These are like the wooden mannequin sort of hand you use for drawing practice. They're very cheap ones. The thumbs on them are very weird. And this is to replicate the grab pack from the game. So if you haven't played the game, you're not familiar, in the game you have this thing called a grab pack, which is basically a big blue and a big red hand that are like cannons, and you can fire them out to grab things and pull them back on a long sort of rope. And I wanted to have that in here. Didn't have the time or the resources to build like a big full-on the backpack with the motor and everything and the hand cannons that fire them out. But the projectiles it fires is just like a red and blue hand on a long string. So I've got some red and blue hands, well I've got some wooden hands that we've made red and blue by the power of spray paint. And we'll screw some little eye hooks into them and hang them from some string, and there'll be a prop used in some capacity. I'm not entirely sure what, but it was an idea I had, and when I have an idea, it has to happen. That's why I always go over budget on videos. Hello, behold our various Technicolor shapes. They're now colourful. We might do another coat of red. on the red ones because they're a little patchy, but that's a tomorrow job. At the end of the day, the cubes are painted, I've hoovered up an awful lot of sawdust, and tomorrow is the day, all going well, that we actually assemble the set. We're going to have the flooring down, the ceiling up, I know I said like on 4 different days now, and we're going to stack all these in their right positions. We're going to somehow get this huge and heavy arch the other way up on top of these cubes. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's the end of day. Liz put a number here, whatever day we did this was. It's the end of that day. See you tomorrow.
Hello.
Hello. It's the following day from the previous day, and this has finally arrived. This is the big box I'm going to be into the video. It's like over a week late now. It's slightly wobbly in a way that concerns me. I really hope you don't open this to find it snapped. Yeah.
Probably fine.
Probably fine.
We trust DPD.
Yeah.
Friendship ended with TNT. DPD is my new. DPD is my new best
Never
friend.
learned my friendship. More cardboard. You have no idea how stressed I've been this past week and a half trying to get this thing here. It's here. Now we have to build it. Liz is painting a cube. We're running out of yellow paint. Don't waste any paint.
Slightly overlap here.
Oh yeah.
So I pin there just to then. I don't want a gap here.
You don't want gap.
So if I do that.
We've got the width to allow for it. So
Yeah. If I go there.
Yeah.
That's a nice sag, isn't it? Are you happy with that sag?
I'm happy with that quantity of sag.
I think my stapler's on top of it.
Something straight out looking forward also.
Exactly.
Well, there we go. What do you mean, staples at the layer on these? Oh, Greg, you plonker! Hello, Tony.
How's that sag? Oh, that's a good sag.
Yeah, the screen actor skills is being practiced. You've got to match the sag now.
Yeah.
Well, establish the sag. Now the sag needs to be matched.
Exactly. That's sort of the trouble, isn't it? Always a trouble.
Welcome to Match That Sag. I'm your host, Greg. Today on the show we've got Nick.
Trying to get a match that sag. Need a little overlay.
Yeah. My favourite sag is Sagaloo.
Oh, I love sag. Really
Sag paneer.
Sag paneer. Yeah. Gracious me. Right, can you be the sag matching consultant of the inner sag?
You need to a bit more sag.
A bit more?
A bit more. That looks.
Ah, right.
Yeah. Been doing this for weeks and I'm going slightly crazy. Oh boy! Oh, gee whiz! Blue lily, true, and then the final red.
Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da.
Yes. This is my impersonation of Jeff Goldblum in State.
Yes.
So we're gonna staple the fabric to the
I like it.
I've got my pencil on the floor. Whatever for. Right, there we go.
Congratulations, you matched that sag.
You've won our jackpot of. What are you going to spend it on? Jet ski. That's
Always a jet ski. Always a jet ski. Always a jet ski.
Hello! So, progress has been made. We have a ceiling now. I don't think there's any ceilings like this in the actual game, but it's very hard to build a physical ceiling in this space, but I wanted to have lots of high angles, low angles looking up. So this sort of surface temp aesthetic I think works quite well for that. Feels in keeping, doesn't look too out of place. We've also painted up some big tubes and stuck them to the walls just to give the walls a bit more depth than just flat walls and to sort of look like pipes. I feel like the pipes in the factory are decorated to look all colourful, so that's what we've done. That blue one I didn't paint quite enough of. I thought I'd need to trim off more than that, so I'm going to go up there and just paint a little bit of blue to patch that up. But we're about to start putting the floor down, finally. The floor, walls and the ceiling, and it will be a set. We just won't have anything in it, but it will be a set by that point.
Yeah.
Pretty good, isn't it? Pretty good.
Yeah. A little worried about the height of the box. I thought I would be tall enough, but actually with the hat and my shoes, it might be a little bit.
I mean, when you're in the box, you can take your shoes off.
This is true.
Oh yeah, actually your feet.
Yes,
your feet are obscured.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's the right-hand side of the box.
So that's the height and width of the front.
That's the depth. No, that's the side.
Is that the side?
That's the depth of the box. This is
Depth
the
of the box. Fabulous. What would it be?
Here's the other side that doesn't have any window cut into it. I'm stupendous fun. And some generic purpley pattern inside. Here's the front of the box.
Ah.
With our corner window. Here is the rear of the box.
Hurrah.
Fantastic. I'm so relieved these are now here. Being the centerpiece of the set. Being the centerpiece of the set and not arriving till the last possible minute. Slightly nerve-wracking. It's the egg chair between my knees all over again. That also went missing for weeks and showed up the day before we filmed, 2 days before. Exciting. That's going to look very cool when it's all a thing.
I hope so.
I'm like a mime in training. Like I don't have the full box, but also I'm not ready for a fully imaginary box yet either.
Yeah, we're claustrophobic.
Yeah, I've got a guide box to sort of train with, and one by one they'll remove. It's got a quick one out already. When I'm fully qualified, they'll remove all, and I'll get my mime certificate. Of course, I just failed by speaking. We have a ceiling, we have a floor, we have been here all day and some of the night it is now, well, midnight.
Half midnight.
Half midnight, thank you. Thank you. But yeah, the superstructure of the set is done. It is now an occupiable space in all directions. Lovely foam playmat floor, it's very late. Tinted ceiling. We've painted all of our big shapes. Whip pan, wow! Need another coat of red on that one round in the foreground. Aside from that, yeah, they're all painted. The big box that I'm going to be in has now been built. It's that little frame over there, which will have all the panels attached to the side. You can see one of them in the background there. There I am.
And it's been painted pink on the inside.
On the inside, yes, so you don't see the wood. Well, you'll see the wood, but it'll be pink wood, which will look better than wood colour wood. And so until that was done, we spent the evening putting more cardboard boxes together.
Yay!
There's so many.
And it's the Huggy boxes, which are much more complicated.
Yeah, yes. So we've been doing these boxes, which the rest are all just standard boxes. This box from the game has a window in the front with a toy inside. So we had to cut the window hole out, stick a sheet of acetate in, cut those to size. And then I wasn't going to make hundreds of individual Huggy dolls, so they're just cardboard cutouts that are stuck in there, standing upright, so there's some depth to them. And as they'll only be seen sort of in the background and sort of out of focus and stuff, it should look the part. Fingers crossed.
We hope.
We hope. We hope. We hope. So yeah, we're about to go home and sleep, most likely. Well, actually, that's a lie. I've got work to do. Liz will be sleeping, and I've got work to do.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Doing some tests. We've got the arms on. We're hoping they stay on. They're held on by a combination of many safety pins and hot glue and
love.
And love and hope and dreams and probably some black magic. Yeah, hopefully they stay there. We've got some arms. The arms are made. They can be worn. There's a secret hole in them for you to sneak your arm in. And the head is done. It's over there. But yeah, he's becoming a puppet. Yeah.
It looks better than we thought.
It looks better than we anticipated it would. Hi. I think he's finished after many, many evenings of hot gluing and cutting and trimming and hoovering up straight blue fur and finding it in our food and all over the house. Here he is, he's done. He's got his spooky mouth on right now, but he has two puppetable arms, but I obviously only have one spare arm. But he can be puppeted by two people if you want an extra, both hands running. Yeah, he's going to look really good on video, I think. Like lots of quick, short shots, nothing too focused on him. Because if you look too close for too long, you start to see, there's fur in my eye. You start to see there's fur in my eye. Yeah, there we go. Puppet done. Woo! Finally. Hi. Hi, I'm in a box.
Wow.
Look, it's a box. Finally, this is the thing that took ages to arrive, and now it's assembled almost. We have to put some windows in, but yeah, it's mostly correct. They printed it slightly wrong, but I'm not going to ask for another reprint after the first saga of getting this thing. So, box.
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, we can just stack them a bit.
Yeah.
One on the bottom, two along the top. You can then leave the one on the top if you want more of an up and side dramatic lighting.
Yeah.
If we have one there, two there, and one there, that'll be fairly even apart from your left side of the face.
Yeah.
So it's whether you want under and two side, or under two side and top, which you give it more even.
My concern, the more lights we put in here, the harder it'll be to hide the amount of excess wire we're going to have bundled around. And kind of the idea of the side windows that we can sort of film into the side of the box, so I don't want to have too much going on here. We can certainly get a light strip in or two, but I think if we start going up above as well, we're going to have like lots of colours.
So you think just one on the bottom, two on the side?
Yeah,
one on the bottom,
let's get one on the bottom end, see how it looks.
Yep.
And then, because it's just modular, we can just then add more.
Works with me.
Here, short end, works with me! Aye! Oh, that really works. Blue. That's green.
Lovely.
Is that right? It's hot pink.
Oh, it's a horrible audio quality in here.
Oh yeah, I won't be using it as a sound booth, don't worry.
That's absolutely sickening. Right. And slowly down. There's the job.
It's good, isn't it? Everything. Oh, just a minute. You got all your cables for your lights poking out underneath.
Oh, right there, Probably that's not level, so.
But yeah, it's roughly right. So if you turn a bit this way, and fraction more, fraction more. Yeah, that's about the right angle. It's whether how far back, whether we want it any further forwards or backwards or not. What do you reckon? About there?
You've got a lot of foreground aspect with that block,
Yeah.
the block arch.
Yeah, so we don't want it any further forward. I think that's probably about right.
Yeah, I reckon so.
We go any further back and we probably put everything behind it, whereas if where it is, you've got sort of a little cubby around the back of the box and you could huddle in and do little stuff. So I think that's probably about right where we are. Now we can offset here because we can have little block, big block, and big block, little block.
Welcome to our cafe.
Big cook, little cook, welcome to our cafe.
I'm just going to look up a still from the game because this is based on an arch in the game. I'm going to show my red and my blue on the right side.
Well, naturally.
Well, we're deviating because we have the little extra blocks as well, but you know. Another 10.
You just, you place.
Something sort of that, and that guy goes on there. Sort of slightly jaunty angle.
Exactly.
Only slightly.
The weight of the arch will be
come
all
crashing
in place.
down.
No, it'll be all in place.
Are you sure?
Nope.
But I won't be here, so.
Yeah. You're not going to be the one that's crushed by
No,
it.
exactly. And as long as you get it on camera, it's still content.
Yeah.
Just for a different website.
I mean, this is far enough away that we can get a Wally dolly right through it.
Yeah.
And we can get a shot moving through the arch to the box, which would look sick as balls. My concern right now is that we can't get wide enough to see the full arch without seeing just the rest of the room.
Yeah.
Can you go wide enough to see what would be the full arch? You'd have to move it.
Like that.
Yeah, you're seeing.
But I mean,
you're seeing that.
hang on.
I mean, I can do it in post. I can sort of blacken out the edge areas, but I think we probably want to be maybe a tile's worth closer to the box, just to get a little more. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Just
Shimmy the boxes back a bit.
go for it. Going back down.
That's the much heavier box.
I'm a big strong person.
You are. Very strong for an animator.
Well, I'll get a lot of that. Yeah. Yeah, what I'll probably do is stick a big sheet of colour on over that doorway.
Good job.
Just so we can catch it a bit better.
Just tape it up.
Cool, I guess we'll put the arch on top.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hurry.
Oh, easy. Now, ready? Keep going up. Keep going up. Keep going. Whoa. And gentle. Beautiful.
the set is built, but it's not lit, so that's what we're doing now. This is the first thing I've actually filmed today where I'm talking to the camera and saying what we're doing. So hi, welcome to today. It's getting further into the day now, but welcome to today. Yeah, we're setting up these light strips. We've used these for multiple projects now. We had these custom made about a year ago. I think it was for a theme like me actually that we had these done. And there's RGB strips that all connect to a box unit background here, which has lots of dials on. Don't change the colour if you are so inclined to do so. Right now they're just set to white. So yeah, we're trying to wire these up. We've got them running all the way along the back walls. We've got some in the Stupendium box, and I'm just going to try and wire up a couple around the front of the set to light the foreground a bit. These aren't the only lights we'll be using. We've got all sorts of other lights, but yeah, going to try and get some of these in the foreground now. Ooh, that's quite bright. Oh, hello. Welcome. It's the evening of whatever day it is, and the set is built. Now it was quite an effort to stack all these blocks, but they're up, and I'm really happy with how it looks. I think it looks absolutely incredible. So looking better when it's lit properly. You can see we've got some of the lighting in already. It looks a bit messy. There's wiring around that will be hidden by the time we're done. Yeah, we've got a bunch of big colourful toy boxes and a cool box for me to be in. It was pretty good. Now we've got to start. We've got to finish putting all our boxes together, and then put them everywhere. See you in a few hours. So we're about to start dressing the set with props and things, namely all of these boxes. This was as many as we could make and put together, cut out and put together in the time we had. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of them. So now we're about to start stacking these around the set. Woohoo!
Wow.
Haven't put batteries in here yet. We are his little master now.
Little master, ready, shoot.
No way.
Yeah. You may not like it, but this is what peak musical performance looks like.
Why does that actually sound like jazz?
Hello. It's what time is it, Liz?
2:20.
It's 2:20 in the morning, and we've done about as much as we can do tonight. I mean, okay, we've done about as much as we can do tonight before Liz murders me.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go home. Tomorrow is our first day of shooting. The first day of shooting is quite a low intensity day of shooting, so we're going to come in a bit early and just finish up the last few bits. But the set is mostly dressed. There's some more toys to unpack. A lot of them need batteries putting in, but they require a very tiny screwdriver to put the batteries in that we don't have with us right now. But yeah, we're mostly there. It's not fully lit yet. It's looking very dark right now. There'll be more lights. But maybe we made too many boxes. We've still got a lot of spare boxes behind us. But yeah, see you tomorrow.